Welcome to my LGBT lesbian channel. The series Checkmate, Stripper and Dance for Me are voiced for you in full history. Thank you for your comments, reactions and subscription to my channel. Have a nice day everyone. I shook my head when I saw a well-dressed man with blonde hair in a brief argument in the lobby. "You can't stop me from entering. Do you have any idea who I am?" he shouted. The security guards politely tried to restrain him, but the man simply wasn't having any of it. He passed through the turnstiles in a rough way and walked towards the central elevator. Some employees tried to stop him, but he seemed determined to accomplish his goal. I walked quickly in the attempt to accompany him, but the blonde was faster. "Shit," I exclaimed when the elevator doors closed. Thanks to the small LED screen, I could see that he was heading towards the top floor. The presidency. I pressed the small button quickly, as if it would come down faster for me. For some reason I felt that I should know who that man was and why he was there so upset. I closed my eyes for brief seconds, when the beep indicating that the doors would open sounded shrilly. It didn't take long and I was already in the presidential area. As soon as the metal doors opened, I could hear the thick and loud voices coming from Colin's office. The office door was open. The blonde probably didn't care about being polite in the midst of it all. I approached the office delicately. I didn't want to be seen. With my closeness, I could see Christopher behind his desk, with a not-so-pleasant expression, throwing harsh words against the man who was in front of him, being surrounded by 2 security guards and a beautiful woman. "You think you can ban my entry here?" The blonde shouted. "I have a part in all of this, Christopher." "Part? How many times do I have to tell you that you are no longer part of this company, Hyder? You are a bastard. I always had a part in this company." "You had. You don't anymore," Christopher shouted. The tempers in that office seemed to be too altered. Hyder carried in his voice an out-of-the-ordinary rage. "Of course I don't. You fucked me over, right? You stole everything from me. You are crazy. You make bad business decisions and now you blame me? You son of a bitch, you bastard." The man, charged with fury, moved towards Christopher, hitting his face hard. The security guards quickly moved to hold the blonde, who seethed furiously. I inched closer to the concrete column that was near the door, and through the crack I could see Mr. Collins' face with a slight cut on his lips. "You will regret this, Hyder," he spoke as he cleaned the corner of his lips that were dirty with blood. "You are the one who will regret it. I'm already taking measures. I will end you, Collins. You wouldn't dare mess with me," he said in a sarcastic tone. "Who do you think you are? God? I'll take everything that is yours, even your life if possible, but you will pay me for what you did," the man shouted. "Get this man out of here, now." Christopher approached Hyder, who was being held by 2 strong men. "Don't mess with me. You don't know what I'm capable of." "I know exactly what a snake like you is capable of, but I can be worse. Be careful." The security guards pulled him forcefully out of the office. Hyder freed himself from the security's hold. "Let go of Mel. I know where the exit is," he said as he straightened his suit. The man walked furiously towards the elevator, being followed by the 2 security guards. I hear a loud noise coming from the presidential office, like glass being broken. Collins soon appeared at the door of his office with an angry expression on his face. I kept standing still, away from his line of sight. I didn't want him to know of my presence in that moment. When he went back into his office, I took care of getting out of that place. I would find out who was that Hyder person and what had happened between the 2 that was so serious. I got out of the elevator, seeing Veronica walking towards me. "Where were you? I've been looking for you for quite some time." "Come with me, Iglesias." I pulled Vero by the hand, who seemed to not understand anything, but she followed me anyways. I walked in long strides towards the exit of Collins Enterprise, looking for Hyder. But it was too late. He was speeding out of the central parking lot with his car. "Damn it, I said, can you tell me what happened? I need to know who that man is." "Why?" "He just had an ugly argument with Collins. He even threatened him." "Did you intervene?" Vero asked curiously. "No." "God, Christopher received threats and you didn't do anything?" my friend asked incredulously. "I need to know what happened, Veronica. I can't scare neither of the two. And Christopher didn't stand on ceremony. He threatened the guy the same way." -1 still think you should have acted. "I know what I'm doing. Now come with me. I need to know who's this Hyder person." We entered CE Central Courtyard again, where I could catch sight of the blonde who a few minutes ago was inside the presidency office. In her small badge with black letters was written her name, Clarice. I leaned against the reception counter next to Veronica, when the blonde approached, initiating a quick conversation with the woman behind the counter. "Where is Mr. Martinez?" Her voice tone revealed certain anxiety. "He left a few minutes ago. He was furious," the brunette from the reception said softly. I faked a brief and vague conversation with Vero, who was in front of me, while I was attentive to the conversation of both women close to me. "Who's furious is Mr. Collins. Half of the office must be destroyed," the blonde said timorously. "I've seen them fighting, but never like today." "Really?" "Yes, Hyder hit Christopher." The brunette widened her eyes in surprise with Clarice's information, who was duly committed to report the facts to her coworker. "The way Mr. Collins is harsh, he must have hit him too." "Not really. I was surprised too. Christopher is too harsh. I don't know why he didn't do anything. If we were in other times he would have fought him back. Nowadays he sends someone to do that," the brunette joked. "Don't even say that. I like Mr. Martinez. He was always very kind to me," the blonde said worriedly. "It's a pity they broke the society," said the brunette whose name I still didn't know. "Yes, since then they don't get along. Anyways, I'm going back to my office. I have to call the cleaning staff to fix the man's office. He said he was going to have lunch with his wife." "Good luck, Clarice," the brunette waved as Clarice walked away. The blonde walked away slowly, while the brunette from the reception assisted an old man that had just walked in. "So?" Vero asked curiously. "Let's go, I'll tell you on the way." Camila Cabello's point of view. "I still haven't forgiven you for having left like that, Hanson," I said before getting into my car. Dinah casted me an impatient look from the other side of the vehicle, but soon took care of opening the black Ferrari door, accommodating herself in the car. "I already told you that my aunt wasn't feeling well, and asked me to take her to the doctor. You could have asked for my help. It was a minor family situation, don't worry." I casted her a suspicious look, and she just put on her sunglasses and smiled. "New car?" She changed the subject quickly. "Yes, it arrived earlier today." Dinah analyzed the vehicle and raised her eyebrows. "Pretty showy. You think? I chose black to disguise more." "It's a convertible Ferrari, Camilla." I put on my face my delicate Ray-Ban before starting my car, making the engine roar sound loud. Let's say I like speed. As long as you don't kill me, everything is great. You haven't given me reasons for that, Jane, I said with a smirk. I sped with the car out of that place. We would go back to my house after a tiring morning in the gallery. I decided to invest the money I had received from my family in a large gallery in downtown New York. Modesty aside, I had a web of clients who would give everything to display their works and shows in my gallery. Dinah, as my best friend, had been hired to be the manager of the Cabello Estrabao Gallery. Where are we going? We are going to my house. I asked Elena to make Italian food for lunch. I know you love it. Christopher hates Italian food, Carla. He won't be home for lunch today. He said he would spend the day in the company. Thank God, Dinah said, rolling her eyes. I sighed heavily when I noticed Dinah's annoyed face at the mention of Chris. In a few minutes we were entering the mansion's gates. As I parked the vehicle in front of the main entrance, I could notice Christopher's car parked ahead. Good morning, ma'am, Carrios spoke when he opened the car door for me. Is Christopher home, Carlos? Yes, Mrs. Cabello. He arrived a few minutes ago. Okay, park my car in the garage, please. Carlos nodded before entering the vehicle. Soon Dinah stood beside me with a not-so-good face. We entered the house and, by the calmness, things were not good at all. Elena then showed up and informed that Christopher was locked in his private office. I'll be in the balcony, Dinah spoke before walking away. Upon entering the office, I came across Christopher leaning against the huge window as he smoked one of his cigarettes. I approached slowly, touching his shoulders, immediately realizing how tense his muscles were. What are you doing here, honey? Where were you? He turned towards me with a serious expression. In the gallery with Dinah. You live there now? He murmured, clearly annoyed. Where did you want me to be? He walked away, going towards the beverage counter in his office, pouring a good amount of whiskey in his glass. Oh. If you like that I voiced the continuation of the series Stripper and want me to continue, please like and write a comment on the video. This will be an incentive to continue working on translation and dubbing.